Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Chemical Engineer. I am Sahil Yadav and in this video we are going to cover all important formula for GATE 22 related to mechanical unit operation subject. Okay, so we will cover all the formulas related to mechanical unit operation subject. So before I start this video, I request you all to please subscribe to the channel, and it will be a 15 to 30 minute video, so please stay connected and try to note it down all the formulas. Okay, so we will cover all the mechanical unit operation formulas for GATE 2022. Alright, let's start the video. Okay, so the first formula is of solid characterization. So the first topic of mechanical unit operation is solid characterization. So in solid characterization we have three formulas. We should remember all those formulas which I will show in this PPT. Okay, so the first formula is sphericity. So sphericity shows the amount or the solid which is having a similar structure compared to the sphere. Okay, so it shows how spherical is the object. Okay, so the formula for sphericity is given as phi s equal to 6 into volume of a particle divided by diameter into area of particle. So the unit of sphericity is unitless. It will give a value between 0 to 1. So 1 means it is totally a spherical particle, and 0 means it is a 0% spherical particle. Okay, so 6 into volume divided by diameter into surface area. So how we get this area? So that is what we have covered in the syllabus of mechanical unit operation. So the link for the playlist of mechanical unit operation is above. Okay, so this is first formula, sphericity, 6 into volume of particle divided by diameter into area of particle. Okay, next we have number of particles. So if something is given related to the particle, like density of particle is given, volume of particle is given, and mass of particle is given, then we can find number of particles from formula, that is m divided by rho p into volume. So suppose in a container, suppose in a container, alright, so suppose in a container we have n particles. Now from this n particle we take one particle having a density rho p, volume Vp. Okay, as total number of particle is n, so we can multiply n multiply by rho p into Vp equal to the total mass of the this. We can multiply it with total mass. Okay, so pen is not working. Total mass, we can multiply it with total mass. Okay, so that is how we can find the formula, that is m equal to rho p Vp divided by m. So, or we can say m divided by rho p Vp. Then we have total surface area. So total surface area is given as n into area. So total surface area of one particle multiplied by number of particles. So Sp is the surface area of one particle, Np is the, or n is the number of particles. So n multiplied by Sp will give you a total surface area of a particle. So this will be from the above two formulas, 6 into m divided by phi s dp rho p. So here you can see that the n is m by rho p into Vp. So Vp is changed with sphericity. Okay, so this sphericity is used to change the total surface area of particle formula. Okay, so this is a simple formulas, you should remember all of them. sphericity, number of particles, and total surface area of particles. Let's move next. So next topic is related to the solid itself, that is type of diameters. So these four formula you should always remember. So first is volume surface mean diameter. So this diameter is also known as Sauter mean diameter. Okay, Sauter mean diameter. So this is given as Sauter mean diameter is 1 upon sigma xi divided by dpi, where I equal to 1 to n. Okay, so this is a typical formula for Sauter mean diameter. So you can see here the unit is meter. Okay, any diameter we take, unit is meter, as it is xi is the mass fraction. Okay, so this is a mass fraction, so that is unitless. dpi is the diameter of one particle. So for other particles, suppose we are given a table of xi by dpi, this is what we are given in GATE 2021 as well. Okay, so here we are given xi and dpi. Suppose xi is given as 0.2 and 0.6, and dpi is suppose 1 millimeter and it is 2 millimeter. So Sauter mean diameter will be 1 divided by 0.2 by 1 plus 0.6. Okay, so 0.6. Okay, so here the pen is not working. 0.6 by 2. Okay, so that is how we can find the Sauter mean diameter. Next we have arithmetic mean diameter. So arithmetic mean diameter means a diameter which is related to the mean of arithmetic. So that is ni into dpi. In arithmetic progression or in mathematics we have studied arithmetic mean. Similarly we will do here ni into dpi, that is number of particle the number of similar particle multiplied by its size divided by total number of particle, that is we are generally multiplying it with ni by nt, that is number of initial, or we can say the number of one particle divided by. So here we will number particles like 1 2 3 4 5. This is how. So one having diameter of 1 meter, so that is 1 multiplied by 1 divided by, suppose 5 particles are there, so 1 multiplied by 1 divided by 5 plus 2 multiplied by second diameter, so the number of second number of particle having diameter of 2 meter, then 2 multiplied by 2 by 5. So that is how we will calculate the arithmetic mean. In mass mean we have direct formula, that is sigma xi into dpi. Then in volumetric mean we have 1 upon sigma xi divided by dpi cube whole raised to 1 by 3. Okay, so that is similar to Sauter mean, but here we will do cube and then total we will do 1 by 3. Okay, so these are all the diameter you should remember. So note down all the formulas side by side. Okay, next we have specific surface area. So specific surface area is the area which is actually doing mass transfer, or we can say the operation. So specific surface area is given x. Okay, so this specific surface area is given x 6m divided by phi s rho p dp. Okay, so nothing to worry, it is a simple formula. We in term of m we will take, or we can say m by dp. This is if we are given m or dp is given, suppose one particle only is there, so we have to calculate for one particle, we directly calculate it like this. But if the table is given of xi and dpi, apply this formula, that is sigma xi by dpi into 6 by rho s into rho p, phi s divided by phi s into rho p. Rho p is particle density of one particle and phi s is the sphericity. Next we have a volume shape factor. So volume shape factor is the factor which shows how spherical or how much particle is having a similar volume compared to its diameter, or we can say the how much spherical is the particle. This is what a volume shape factor is. Okay, So for this we calculate for average size and average diameter. So if we want to find average diameter, we can use volume shape factor, that is volume divided by diameter cube. So next we have number of particle in a mixture. So number of particle in a mixture, so in order to calculate this, we use the similar formula that what we have seen in the earlier slide. So NW is nothing but a 1 by rho p into d cube. Here we will use dv cube. So what is v? So v is the this volume mean diameter. Okay, so this is volume mean diameter, that is what we will use. This is last volume mean diameter. Okay, so if we are using dv cube, then we will apply these formulas. In many questions we are given dv, that is we have to find volume mean diameter. So apply this formula, that is a rho into dv cube whole in inverse. So we will give number of particle in a mixture. Next we have different laws. Okay, so the previous what we have discussed is not so important related to gate, but you should remember all those, because sphericity, one question of sphericity is always asked in gate. Now crushing laws. So we have three crushing laws, that is Rittinger's law, Kick's law and Bond's law. Okay, so all these three laws are important related to gate, because one question from these three formula will be asked in your gate exam. So first we have Rittinger's law. So when we use Rittinger's law, when the sphericity is constant. Okay, so for all the three laws, sphericity is assumed to be a constant and crushing efficiency is independent of size of feed and particle. Okay, so these two are the assumption for these three laws. So Rittinger's law is generally applicable when we have to find the size reduction in the we can say powder form. Okay, so when the size difference between d1 and okay, so d1 is the initial size, or we can say the feed size, while d2 is the final or the product size or the product diameter. Okay, so Rittinger's law, this is E is equal to P by m dot. Okay, so power divided by mass, kg per second or kg per hour. So this is what we call as work done. Okay, so the work done from the Rittinger's law, we can calculate it as kr multiplied by 1 by d1 minus 1 by d2. Okay, so this is Rittinger's law. Kick's law is simple, E W equal to kk, that is the Kick's constant, and this is Rittinger's constant. Ln d1 by d2, d1 is the feed, d2 is the particle or the product. Similarly in Bond's law, we have kb divided by under root d1 minus kb by under root d2, that is d1 by d2, or we can say the root. So you should remember all those three formulas. Similarly, how to we can say how to derive those formulas. So we have general equation, so d into p by m dot equal to minus k into d of d divided by ds raised to n, d of ds divided by ds raised to n. Okay, so this is the general equation for deriving all those three laws. You should note down this equation as well. So P by m dot is nothing but the energy, or we can say what we are seeing in the video. So by doing derivation or integration, we can find all those three laws. Now suppose if we take n equal to 2, we get Rittinger's law. Okay, so n equal to 2, we will get Rittinger's law. When we take n equal to 1, we will get Kick's law. Okay, and n equal to 1.5, we will get Bond's law. Okay, so I am not going to do derivation or integration here, but this is a general formula you should always remember. Okay, so ds by ds raised to n, so this n is value which we are changing, so note it down and let's move further. So these are all the three laws. So one question may be asked in your GATE exam as well related to these three laws. Okay, so the general assumption or for general information, this kb value depends on the machine and the particle or material feed. Okay, so no need to calculate it. Next we have, okay, so why I said all those, because this kb value depends on the working index. So working index, so kb equal to 0.3162 work index. Okay, so this kb Bond's law value for the machine depends on the work index. So work index is nothing, it is the energy requirement to convert a feed, or we can say the feed, suppose having the 100% diameter, to convert it into, or to reduce the diameter by 80%. Okay, so the amount of energy required to reduce the diameter by 80% of a feed is known as work index. Okay, so you should remember this formula as well. 0.3162 into work index is equal to kb. Okay, now let us move further. Now we have size reducing equipments. So we have different size reducing equipments. First we studied about jaw crusher. Okay, so jaw crusher is a crusher which is generally used to reduce the size of a coarse particles. So as of now, up till now, GATE hasn't asked any question related to jaw crusher, but you should write this formula of capacity. So capacity is nothing but we can say a kg per hour, or the ability of a jaw crusher to crush its feed. So it is given as rho p into area into width of a jaw into n is the rpm, or the revolution per minute of a number of swings per minute of a jaw. Then epsilon is the porosity. Okay, so this is the porosity divided by 60. So that is what we will get in the kg per hour. So this you should always remember. So all those unit, this is in kg per meter cube. Area of a swing, so swing of a jaw. So you should know how jaw crusher work. There are two type of jaw crusher, that is blaked and dodged. So from that this is a blaked jaw crusher. Always GATE asks related to blaked jaw crusher. So that is the area of a swing that you can find out by multiplying it, or that is directly given. Then this is a width of a jaw, and n is the rpm, or the swing per minute. So this formula you should remember or note it down. Next we have tumbling mill. So this formula always has some 1 mark or 2 mark question. So this formula gives the relation between the critical speed. So mill is okay, so this is suppose a milling equipment. It will have some balls. Okay, so balls, so these are the balls. It will have some metal or the hard metallic balls, and from that we will give some feed. Okay, so this is a feed. So the diameter of this or radius of this is capital R, and the ball having a radius of small r. So this ball, when give attrition to the particles, it will create a, or it will reduce the size of a particle. So that is how the tumbling mill works. So the total mill radius is capital R, and balls that are present in the mill having a radius of small r. So critical speed, this is how we in order to calculate, we do the mass balance, or we can force balance. So directly doing the force balance, we get this formula. I am not doing it here because I have covered it in a video. So the link for this video is at the top. NC equal to 1 by 2 pi under root r by r minus r. So in GATE it generally asks you a question that NC is directly proportional to 1 by r minus r. That is how a question may be framed, because many times GATE has asked this question. So you should remember this relation, NC equal to is directly proportional to r minus r. Okay, this is for tumbling mill, or we can say it a ball mill as well. In milling we convert it to a powder form. Okay, remember it. In milling we do it powder form, in the crushing we convert it into a coarse form. So for coarse form we use Bond's law and Kick's law mostly, while Rittinger's law is generally applied for milling operations, or when we do a powder form. Okay, so remember all those words that I am speaking during this video. It will help you. Next we have roll crusher. So roll crusher is some equipment having two rolls. This is roll 1, this is roll 2. Here we collect our product. Okay, so here we collect our product and we pass a feed from here. Okay, so suppose, in order to remember this is a tangential to the center. Okay, so this is there anything to erase? Yes. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, all right. So here we have two rolls. These two are the tangential. This area, or we can say the angle, is AN. We call this angle as angle of Neap, AN. Okay, angle of Neap. Now this roll having a diameter or radius of capital R1, diameter D1. These two rolls are of same size, capital R1. Now suppose we pass a particle of, okay, so this is a particle of radius R2. Okay, so this is a radius particle, and the distance between these two is D3. Okay, so distance between these two crusher is D3. So D3 will be the product size, because whatever size the particle we are feeding to the roll crusher, it can only convert it into a size which is in between two rolls, that is D3. Okay, so D3 is the particle size, we can say. So this relation, or we can do the force balance, we get some relation. Okay, so please note it down, this formula, or pause the video and note it down, this formula. Then from that relation we get cos of AN by 2, that is angle of Neap, divided by 2. Why we took 2? Because we are taking half, we do make a triangle. Okay, so from that triangle, D1 plus D3 divided by D1 plus D2. So cos AN by 2 equal to D1 plus D3 divided by D1 plus D2 by 2, or we can say cos AN by 2 equal to D1 plus D3 divided by D1 plus D2. So by making the triangle you can assume that, or you can draw that also. Okay, so from that figure you get this formula. So GATE asks this question, what is the angle of Neap? So you can find out it with cos inverse 2 times cos inverse D1 plus D3 divided by D1 plus D2. Okay, so this is how you can find out the angle of Neap. Alright, so this is about roll crusher. Next we have screen effectiveness. So direct formula, that is EA into EB. So I am not going to derive this formula, so link to see how we can derive this formula is above. So we get this formula, screen effectiveness. Directly remember this formula, nothing to discuss about it. Next we have cyclone separator. So the GATE always asks this question, the separation factor in cyclone separator. So in cyclone separator we have nothing but a cyclonic force. We pass some particle, it revolves and then comes out from the bottom. So by the force balance we get to know that mg is the downward force mv square by r is the tangential force. So separation factor is related to how much cyclone is created, how much tangential force is applied or cyclonic force is applied. So mv square by, wait a minute, I need to plug on my laptop. Okay, so mv square by r divided by mg, so v square by rg. Okay, so v square by rg, v is the tangential velocity of the particle divided by r is the radius of the cyclone. Okay, so this is how we get the formula for cyclone separator. Okay, and g is the gravity, g. So you should remember this formula as well. Now we have some important formulas related to filtration. This equation is known as Ergun equation, and the video link or for this filtration, how we derive this equation, is above. So you have to remember this equation directly. Okay, 150 mu into v, v is the velocity, 1 minus epsilon square, epsilon is the porosity, divided by phi h dp whole square divided by epsilon cube. Okay, you should remember this formula. This is applied when we have laminar condition for filtration. And overall pressure drop in filtration is the pressure drop due to cake plus pressure drop due to membrane or the material. So that is given as mu into v into alpha mc divided by a plus rm, where rm is the cake resistance given as delta p m divided by mu into v. Mu is the viscosity, and mc is the mass of the cake. Alpha is the specific cake resistance, that is given as delta pa divided by mu vm. Okay, so this is how you should remember all those formulas. No need to derive it, you should remember it directly. Similarly, we have this correlation between the specific cake resistance, that is alpha equal to alpha naught into delta p raised to s, where s is the constant and alpha naught is also a constant. S value is equal to 0 when the density is constant, and for okay, so s value is 0 for, wait a minute, s value changes from 0 to 1. Okay, generally it is in the range of 0.2 to 0.6. It is 0 for a constant pressure filters. Okay, so for constant pressure filter it is 0, while for different constant rate filter it is 0.2 to 0.6. Okay, remember all those formulas, it will help you. Next we have filtering time. So filtering time is the time for constant rate filter that is required to filter one batch of volume V. So Q naught is the initial flow rate, Kc by 2, Kc is the specific cake resistance, we can say. Wait a minute, let me check if suppose I am not wrong. Okay, so Kc is nothing but a constant. So Kc is given as Kc is equal to alpha 2 alpha mu divided by A into delta P into G. Okay, so this is how Kc is given. Okay, so Kc is nothing but a constant. So we derive this formula, and this derivation is already given in that filtration video link. Okay, so you can directly watch it from there also. Next we have fluidization. So in fluidization we have Ergun equation. So Ergun equation is nothing but direct equation which shows a relation between delta P by L. So delta P by L equal to G into rho P minus rho into 1 minus epsilon. Okay, so this is a general equation. Now this side is delta P by L, so 1 minus epsilon is cancelled from both the sides. So delta P by L equal to 150 mu into V divided by phi square dp square, 1 minus epsilon square by 1 epsilon cube. Okay, so this is a critical fluidization, so this is a critical porosity. Then plus 1.75 into rho v square divided by phi s dp into 1 minus epsilon divided by epsilon cube. Okay, so that is equal to delta p by L. So this 1 minus epsilon is cancelled from all the sides. That is why we are getting this equation that is shown here. Similarly, for the length of the fluidization required, we use this formula L equal to L naught 1 minus epsilon at epsilon m divided by 1 minus epsilon, where L naught and epsilon m are the critical values. Okay, so minimum values that is required for fluidization, that length is L naught, and minimum porosity at which fluidization occurs or starts is epsilon m. So in designing we use this equation L equal to L naught 1 minus epsilon m. In general we have L into 1 minus epsilon equal to L naught into 1 minus epsilon naught. Okay, so remember, all write these two formulas as well. Next we have last formula for settling. Okay, so settling have many derivation, so video link if allowed, it is at the top. So settling, this is a laminar condition settling. This equation is known as Stokes equation. Okay, so wait a minute. In Stokes equation, okay, so in Stokes equation we have laminar conditions. So this is general direct equation. Velocity, gate has always asked this question: find the velocity or find the diameter of a particle. So direct equation of settling, so that is d square into g into rho p or rho s minus rho f. Rho s is the set, or we can say rho s is the, wait a minute, it is a rho p minus rho f, that is particle density minus the feed density divided by 18 into eta. Eta is nothing but a viscosity. Here we generally use mu, but if it is eta, so you remember it as a viscosity. So this is a Stokes equation valid for Reynolds number 10 raised to minus 4 to 0.2. We have different equation as well, so derivation is not required to be remembered, but remember this equation as well as this equation. Suppose two particles are given and their density is also given, and it is said that they are settling down. So we have this equation: diameter of particle A divided by diameter of particle B equal to specific gravity of B minus 1 divided by specific gravity of A minus 1 whole raised to n, where n equal to 0.5 for Stokes regime or laminar flow. Okay, for laminar flow we have n equal to 0.5 Stokes regime, n equal to 1 when we have turbulent flow, or we can say it as Newton's regime, turbulent. Okay, and in between we can take n if specified in question. Okay, so this is what formula you should remember. So these two formulas related to settling are must to be remembered. Okay, so these are all the required formulas for GATE 2022. So please subscribe to the channel, I request you, because yesterday एक किस्सा सुनाना चाहूँगा. एक इंसान आया हमारे ग्रुप में और आके बोलने लगा कि तुम्हारे वीडियोस पे तो व्यूज़ ही नहीं है, और व्यूज़ नहीं है मतलब तुम्हारे वीडियो इनइफेक्टिव है. उसने ऐसा लिखा क्लियर हमारे ग्रुप में आके. सो प्लीज़ अगर आप वीडियो देख रहे हैं तो प्लीज़ शेयर करें, इसको सब्सक्राइब करें, और फ्री में है ये वीडियो, कोई मैं रुपए नहीं ले रहा हूँ इस वीडियो के, ठीक है. और आपको नॉलेज मिल रही है तो लाइक कर दो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा, और शेयर करो इसको, और सब्सक्राइब करके रखो चैनल. सो ठीक है, पर करना चाहिए ऐसा, पर ये गलत है यार. कोई भी आके मेरे को बोल रहा है कि अब व्यूज़ नहीं है मतलब बेकार वीडियोज़ है तुम्हारे, हो गए बेकार, पर मतलब अब तुमको कुछ नॉलेज मिल रही है तो शेयर करो तुम, जिसको भी मिल रही हो. जिसको नहीं मिल रही हो तो ठीक है, देख सकता है वो, पर बुरा मत करे यार, फ्री है यार, कोई मैं रुपए नहीं ले रहा हूँ बाकी लोगों की तरह। ठीक है, तो थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो एंड सब्सक्राइब प्लीज़ अगेन, एंड टेलीग्राम इंस्टाग्राम पे हमको ज्वाइन कर लो, हमारा लोगो ये रहेगा हमेशा। सो थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो, आई एंड दिस video here, and for 1 or 2 or some equation that we are forgetting here, that will be covered in the full revision video. Full revision video will be lived in August or September. Alright, so thank you for watching this and please subscribe.